All right, Aquarians, welcome into your November reading. So this is November 2025. We are wrapping up the year. It is crazy. Well, I was kind of tuning into Aquarians out there. I kind of was like, I said this for another sign, but I had this like thought process of you kind of like at the beginning of the year, either like wanting to be in a completely different place in your life by the end of the year, or have made a big change that you've kind of been like sitting on the fence about, or there was a big change that happened this year and you're kind of sitting in a whole new place. So there's two camps of Aquarians, and I feel like that kind of, when we look back at the year, you're kind of sitting in either of those places. And November is setting up to be a big month. I know, I feel like everyone keeps saying that about every month this year, but November has, and sorry, my nails are still a little wet, so I'm trying to not totally buff them up. But November has over 30 aspects, astrological aspects happening this month. And if you're not kind of a big astrologer, aspects are kind of when planets communicate or are interacting each other, creating some sort of like certain impact depending on, again, how they're placed, right? How they're aspecting each other, whether it's like a trine, or if it's a conjunction, an opposition, right? So, and different planets have different relationships with each other, right? Their energy is different, and some planets get along together and feel comfortable with each other and just kind of, are more in harmony, where other planets are complete opposites, or just their energies are very conflicting. And especially if there's an opposition there, that's going to create more resistance. Opposing energy, which all of that impacts us here on Earth. So there's a lot of that going on. There's also 2 retrogrades happening this month. Mercury is going retrograde through the end of the month, and then Uranus is also going retrograde. So another word that came up for intuitively for you guys, for Aquarian specifically, was kind of relax. This month is almost a time to kind of not push forward too hard, or like I know it can be frustrating again, but that retrograde energy asks us to kind of, hold your horses, right? Like, I know you want to achieve this, or you want to accomplish this, or do this, or take action on this, or, but for some reason it's asking you to pause for some reason. And it almost could mean that there's a rediversion in a certain direction in regards to something. Like, you might find yourself completely changing course or making a different decision, or realize that, oh yeah, maybe that's not the best thing for me. So that's definitely what I'm feeling for you guys. I did just want to go through a little bit specifically how this is going to impact you, along with what I just said. But so as far as the astrology, there is a big focus for you guys on your goals and planning right now and moving into November. The other thing that's popping up, so your goals and plans could be around a lot of different aspects in your life, but there's also going to be some attention on your social life. Likely the energy is going to come up where there's more opportunities to engage with people, with teams or groups or friends. So it's asking you to kind of have a work-life balance this month. It definitely, the guidance is to get out there and engage and socialize and connect with people. Don't focus too much on your goals or planning, especially if it's tied to just work related. Again, there's this essence of needing to just pause and relax and kind of like sit with something. Because there is, along with your goals and plans, like there's an increased kind of motivation to want to realize some sort of success, or kind of improve your performance in some area, especially around career or certain goals. But there's a lot of spotlight on your career and goals and things like that, but professional life. But as the full moon comes in on the 5th, there's something that's going to divert your attention back to family life or the home life. It can come up as something a little bit more oppositionary, or so there could be a little bit of like overwhelm or distraction that's taking you away from other things in your life that you'd probably rather be focusing on. But it's important to take care of these matters in regards to your personal life. So there's a home theme here to create some balance in regards to your home life. But let's see, is there anything else? Yeah, I think there's just, there's a big flux too in November about, there's a lot of spiritual energy. So part of this, I think too, with your goals and your career and things of that nature, the thing is there's a lot of spiritual like expansion going on November. So I do feel whatever you're focusing on potentially is more in line with like external factors like money or reputation, or like, oh, this title or this type of job would make me look good, right? But what's going to happen in November is there's going to be this, I almost see it as an explosion of like re-diverting us back from external to internal and really connecting more with our authentic self and aligning with that. And I think that's going to really change what's important to you. It's going to change what you want to do, like how you want to divert your energy, or what do you want to spend your time doing. So I do feel like there's going to be maybe a rediversion in regards to that aspect. All right, Aquarians, let's dig into the reading. If you are interested in a personal reading with me, you can schedule something on my website, which is linked below. Also, just since the holidays are coming up, check out my Etsy store as well. I have a lot of great handmade metaphysical jewelry that I personally make. They're all hand-selected stones that, I do like working with high-quality stones, but there are also other kind of more affordable stuff on there. But they are all energetically kind of, what's the word? Activated, cleansed. I do have someone close to me that is like a Reiki master who does Reiki on all of my stuff I make. And I also cleanse all of them in the full moonlight. So they are just ready to go for you all to use as tools and support during this current time of craziness. So I'm doing a different spread for November. I think it's kind of fun just to kind of mix it up, but I'm going to start, and I'll go through every kind of line I do here, but the first one we're going to do is your current energies. So I'm going to pull 2 oracle cards, and then we'll kind of pull a couple tarot. So you got Flow, the River Nile, and the Thinking Woman. So there is that kind of guidance again of just like allowing things to unfold naturally right now. Don't try and push things. Again, that saying, don't push the river, which you really can't. It's going to create more resistance and challenge for you. There may be this feeling of like impatience or something that you want to get off the ground or want to do something here. But I do feel like there's this need to surrender and just put the intention out there and then allow it to unfold. Because I do feel like there's going to be a lot of thinking this month, but the Thinking Woman really refers to like an external person that's really giving you some sort of guidance or wisdom. This could be like a friend, a therapist, an energy worker. It could be even, example like me, someone you find on YouTube and you start following and you gain a lot of great insight from them. So someone's going to help you with a current situation that you're going through. That's going to help you kind of be like, oh, I didn't look at it that way. Or, that's a good insight. And you'll walk away kind of shifting a bit. Or it could be, expanding your awareness. So we got the High Priestess. Look at that, more spiritual energy, intuition kicking in. 7 of Cups. And the Hermit. Oh, wow, this is big. Okay, so you got the two biggest spiritual figures in the tarot, the High Priestess and the Hermit. So there is a lot of deep thinking, analyzing, processing something, and kind of how you feel about it. Like, really, maybe this is like really figuring out what your path is. Like, maybe you're really at a point in your life where you're like, I want to really make a huge transformation here. Like, I'm tired of what I've been doing, maybe career-wise. I want to kind of go down a new path, something that's more aligned with, you know, with my passions and my heart. This could be in any of your area of your life, because I kind of saw these 6 cups, and I feel like in this card, every cup is kind of housing a different item here, but they all represent something differently, which this card is about your desires, your dreams and desires. So it's kind of like, what do I do? What do I choose here? Like, and I feel like that's what's coming in, is you're getting really more clear direction this month about what your priorities are, what is your ultimate desire, and kind of what path you should take regarding that. So be open to receiving information, guidance. Really tap into your intuition this month, because I feel like you're going to be getting a lot of just inner guidance coming in. So next we're going to see what's coming in for you. We have the Trust card and the Appreciation card. Yeah, again, just this like needing to like let go, put it in the universe's hands. You could have been overthinking this a bit, but it's kind of this time to stop and smell the roses and just kind of enjoy the month. And you may be feeling like you're at a point in your life where like, well, I need to figure this out. Like I can't stay in this current situation or job or relationship, but I do feel like it's going to actually help things happen faster for you. Let's get a couple tarot for what's coming in. 3 of Swords. Yes, something's been difficult and painful. 5 of Wands. Queen of Swords. So there is conflict showing up. So this could be internal conflict, but I also feel like there could be some external conflict coming in regards to people's opinions, or like just, this could be in a situation that you're in where you feel like you're just tired of this type of energy, right? There's something about the energy. It's just like, really, you're over it. It's like you can't deal with it anymore. It's starting to really weigh on you, kind of from a soul perspective and maybe your heart. And you're kind of getting to a point where you're harnessing the Queen of Swords here, which, you know, you are an air sign. So this is really aligning with yourself here, but really getting some clarity. I'm getting to potentially needing to cut certain people out or certain situations out. You're just like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. And you're like, this is the direction I'm going. So I do feel like there is more clarity coming in, but there is going to be a little bit of a rocky road in regards of some sort of conflict or resistance happening and then you'll kind of all of a sudden get the clarity. Next is what messages from your future self. So we have abundance and door to value. Look at that. So there is an aspect of you already in some future experience aligned with the new path, the new thing that you're looking for, which is a place that's very abundant. If you're worried, if there seems to be something around work or professional life, or just a focus on needing to shift, maybe there's a focus on money here, but this looks great. I mean, looks like there's something new coming in that's going to be of value to you and help you maybe earn more, increase your income here. Okay, we got the Strength card and the Sun. Yes, happier times here, and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, an offer. So there is definitely going to, you have received an offer. Your future self is telling you. This could be, for some of you who are single, there could be a new offer, like a potential for a relationship here coming in November. Or at some time in the near future. Something that's going to be really great. Feels great here. And, you know, whatever you're currently dealing with or have been, I do feel like you're going to find some courage to kind of move on from that. And it could have been a heartbreaking, even relationship situation for some of you, but there's definitely new energy coming in by the end of the month, or sorry, the end of the year I'm getting. So next, finally, we're going to just hit some of the good stuff. Like, what's the good stuff that we can give you some information on? So we have deliberation here and the 6th chakra, which is your third eye. So here's you sitting on something, right? This is what we were talking about currently. And even through November of kind of deliberating, kind of gaining some insight. Here's your insight from your third eye. So there's a lot of spiritual expansion going on here. I think your consciousness, this is called like the ascension process. You're really ascending and getting out of a level that's kind of, you're now vibrating at a different level than where you currently are. So the more you start feeling like, oh, I just don't align with this anymore, or this is really starting to bother me. This job, and the people, like I literally can't handle it anymore, or it could be a relationship, whatever it is. You're already getting the kind of, you know, tap on the shoulder about it's time to make a change here. And I feel like this is good, because I think you're going to really figure this out on your own, and you're going to really figure out the right path for you, and not just picking a path because of, you know, the title of the job or the amount of money or, you know, what this relationship looks like on paper. It's more about what's going to make you happy here. Two of Swords. Yeah, you're going to get off the fence. So that's good, right? There's the sense of feel like maybe you've been sitting on a fence for a long time in regards to some situation. And you're really cutting the blindfold off and really finally gaining the courage to, you know what, I'm going to get off this fence and I want to go somewhere different. The Devil. Overcoming karmic situations, fear that's been holding you back as well. Queen of Cups. So you're getting in touch with your emotions here, which you're like, well, that's kind of cheesy here. I'm listening in about, I need money, or I need, you know, my focus is on expanding my success or something like that. But some of you, here's the thing, Aquarius, this is a big trend happening, and that's part of the spiritual energy happening, and like this expansion is we're coming back to our emotional body, which as air signs, you know, it may not be where you feel confident in that territory, but it's being forced upon us. And the more you resist, the more suffering and challenge you'll face. It's not easy to come back to the emotions when maybe you live your life mostly out of the emotional space. But this is where your true self lies, okay? This is where your intuition lies. Your emotions help you, are your compass in life. And it's also access to your authentic self. It's access to your heart. And this is where, for example, you're looking for love and you've had relationships before and it's all the same pattern. There's not deep connection, deep intimacy. It's because you're not able to access your own depth of love. and to give yourself what your deepest self is desiring from a love perspective. And this is a karmic pattern, you know, and these could be karmic beliefs about emotions. And maybe you were taught growing up or in your life that it's not safe to be here, right? It's not safe to be there. You're socially conditioned that, you know what, we live in this external world. We got to live more in our logic, in our intellect. And you've used that, but you've used that too much in your life, and that's why you're at this place, for one. But this is what's happening to help you expand to the next level. You can't expand to the next level just sticking to the old, right? We're teaching an old dog new tricks here. We're going to be directing the next phase of our life by our emotional and how we feel about things, not about, oh, this looks good on paper, or, oh, you know what, this is more about me appearing a certain way, right? All this different factors here. But the good stuff is we are getting off the fence. We're overcoming fears and karmic patterns or stuck kind of stuff. And we're getting back to our emotions, and we're going to start really enjoying things in our life that fill our cup, that really fulfill us deeply, which I love. Anything here? Let's see. What is this? 3 of Swords, 5 of Wands. 10 of Wands. Yeah, it's been a rough... Ooh, yeah, you're like, there's definitely this impatience of like, I'm raring to go, right? You guys are like, I want to figure this out. I'm ready to go to this new place. I'm ready to get out of this job, whatever it is. Because definitely, like, you're at a point where it's just like, okay, when is this over? type of thing. But I think the more you fight to like get it to happen faster, that's where I think the resistance is coming in. And something definitely has gotten to a place where it's heavy for you. It's heavy on your heart. It's heavy on your soul. So what's coming in with High Priestess and the Hermit? Like, what is this spiritual messaging here? 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, doing the inner work. And there's this needing to reassess the foundation of your life and what it's based upon. There needs to be a shift here. So everything that's motivated you up until now in your life, what you've created the foundation of your life on. And for some of you, I just heard this, like the foundation is a bunch of lies. And it's not to be harsh, but the foundation that you built everything on, it's not a foundation. And there's a lot of things hidden here. There's a lot of, even to yourself, I think. There's a lot of distortion here in yourself about, it's almost like you've been motivated by what you've done in your life based on what other people think, or the image it produces, or the amount of money, or the success, or, oh, I have this perfect marriage. Like, again, but in reality, it's not true. So your spiritual higher self is coming in to really help you to do the work, to really see this stuff. And it's time to build a new foundation. Let's just see. The 2 of Swords, Devil. 6 of Cups. 3 of Wands. It's almost like, I feel like you've been just waiting. You've just been waiting for like, I don't know what you're waiting for. You've been kind of, again, this whole concept of sitting on the fence about something, but you've kind of been just waiting for like just something to happen so you don't have to like make the decision yourself or something. This could be tied to childhood patterns that something's here is tied to like the past. That you, for one, don't want to face or look at here. But there is some sort of reconciliation that has to happen, which is also the Six of Cups. You have to reconcile something, and the only way you can reconcile it is it's like you keep not wanting to look at it or face it, so you just keep sitting on the fence and staying in a situation here. But there's something that needs to be reconciled from a karmic standpoint, and that was something you signed up for, your soul, as you contracted this lifetime. Like if this is a relationship you've just been staying stuck in, if it's a type of work, like part of what you're doing here is to actually identify that this isn't the right thing for you, and to reconcile with that person or that belief or that situation, and basically make a new decision for yourself. So if you don't do it, so two things, and maybe that's why you're waiting. You're like, well, I don't want to have to make the decision, so I'm just going to wait for someone else to, whether it's the other person or whether it's the universe, to just, force me to do it. But I feel like part of this is you're not going to really grow and elevate your soul if you don't engage and make the decision yourself, if that makes sense. And then the Queen of Cups, the Emperor. So there definitely is, if this is tied to some relationship stuff, I definitely feel like there's someone better for you. This Emperor is coming in, and this person is definitely very strong in his masculine. Again, you can swap the genders. It doesn't have to be, if you're a male looking for just like a more stronger female that's not masculine, but just stronger in who she is. And she's really elevated herself in her life, not money-wise, but just energetically, who she is. She knows who she is. She's done the work. So again, vice versa here. And this connection here is very healing. It's going to help you heal childhood stuff, where I think the other situation kind of perpetuates your childhood traumas, wounding. And I think you do the same to this other person. So that's for relationships. If it's not about relationships, this is just in general. There's some sort of patterning that potentially you learned. It's like unconsciously wired. That's came from your parents. And it's very karmic here. But there is some sort of childhood healing for all of you Aquarians this month that's going to take place. That I think this is the good stuff. So that might seem a little not good, but this is going to be amazing, because I think this is impacting you more than you know consciously. So I think there needs to be a prioritizing this. And it could just be following your joy and bliss more. Maybe that's something your parents never did. They didn't, that wasn't their motivation in life, is to feel bliss and happiness. They were stuck to their karmic past, and they just kind of got by. So yeah, I think that definitely impacts all of you for sure. All right, Aquarians, very interesting month. You're not the first. Everyone's going to have a very interesting month. It's a very spiritual month, a very just conscious explosion month. So get ready, hold on tight, but this is going to be amazing for everyone. All right, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe before you head out. Otherwise, I will see you in the next reading. We're getting to the last month of the year, so that'll be interesting. So see you soon.